welcome. Thank you so much for being our virtual audience today. We at OpsFest are doing some fun stuff here online, and you are our guinea pigs. Thank you all for coming. So, today we are doing Two Gentlemen of Verona. And if any of you are new and haven't been hanging out with us for over the last few weekends, I'll tell you a little bit about ourselves. We are Original Practice Shakespeare Festival, and we have adapted and moved online. That's right, folks. We are all performing from our own spaces. I'm in my childhood bedroom right here, and everybody else is from their own space. And you guys, all safely social distanced at home, are going to enjoy an incredible live production of Shakespeare. So, we are here based in Portland, Oregon, by the way, because we are bringing in a lot of new people who aren't necessarily used to seeing us in the parks during the regular season. So, welcome all. All right. So, what's the original practice in Original Practice Shakespeare Festival? Good question. I'm glad you asked. We at Original Practice believe that there were certain ways that Shakespeare and his company actually did their plays. So at the time, you didn't have Netflix. You couldn't be social distancing at home and scrolling through and watching movies and shows all the time. What they did is go to the plays. And so they had to have a quick turnaround, play on play on play, because it'd be boring if you just played Two Gents all through the week. No one's going to come again and watch it that many times. Well, I might, but I'm a Shakespeare nerd. Anyhow, so they would do a new play all the time. And how did they do that? They did it without rehearsal. That's right, folks. They didn't have time for all that Meisnering and all of that. Instead, they had this magical thing called a scroll. Yes, folks, you can see it up close now, easier than in the parks, where you have a previous person's line and then your own character's line. You didn't know what anybody else was really saying except for the last 3 or 4 lines before you had to speak up. So it was a surprise for everyone involved. So we continue that practice, and it makes for really exciting, live, unexpected, quite unique performances. Each performance is completely different and not like any of the other ones before. So tune in every time, and you're bound to see someone new playing something new, doing something new, who knows what. All right. And another big thing about this Original Practice format is audience interaction. Yes, we believe that you are the groundlings and the upper tier ladies and lords, and you can talk back to us and tell us, "Oh, King, what's your face? Get off the stage, fool." Come on, let's have some more comedic monologues here. Come on. So, to incorporate that, we have you in the parks talk back to us all the time. And guess what? We might just talk back right to you. So, with this social distancing thing, we've had to adapt that a bit, but I personally think it's really evolved. You can do your own involvement by typing away in the comments section. That's right. Interact with your fellow audience members. And we also have company members who will be responding to you on those comment sections. Today we have Amy on Facebook and Sarah on YouTube. So give them a shout out and they'll be talking away with you during the show. All right. So we believe here at OpsFest that Shakespeare should be accessible to everyone for free. And to make that happen, we have an amazing team of sponsors and donors and foundations that believe in what we do. So I want to give a huge shout out and lots of love to Ronnie Lecroute, our season sponsor. She is incredible. And also to the Starseed Foundation, who has continually supported us through the years. And the Regional Arts and Cultural Council, awesome. And the Advanced Gender Equity in the Arts. These people make what we do possible. And let's do a special shout out today. We have a sponsored actor. That's right, people. Keep this in mind for the future. You can sponsor your favorite actor or just give someone a little help that you think needs to be getting into those shows and doing some fun stuff and sponsor them. So you go online and you can do that. Tonight, our sponsored actor is Sammy Rios, who's playing the lovely Julia. She is sponsored by Sarah Hamilton and Chris McCreary. Thank you both. Everyone, it's the biggest donation and the biggest help that we get, though, is from you, our virtual audience, who has been here supporting us weekend after weekend. So, usually at our shows, we like to pass around a green bucket and put ducats in the buckets. Doesn't quite work out this way. But what you can do is find a link. I think it might be down below me here, or up above me here, or to the side here, and you can donate to help continue free Shakespeare here online and eventually back into the parks. You can also text us at OPS online at 44321. All right. So, and also, I think this is very important to note. A lot of part of our proceeds this weekend is going to Riot Ribs. We believe in the work that they do and want them to continue helping out our protesters downtown and doing the amazing work that they are doing. So, again, if you donate tonight, part of that donation will go to help them out and the good causes that they do. All right. So, how do we rein in all this craziness? You got all these loose actors running about in their bedrooms doing who knows what. Well, we have a very special person that keeps that all corralled and herded together. And tonight, that person, our prompter, is the wonderful, amazing Jennifer Lanier.
Woo! Yeah! Ha ha ha! Hello, 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 friends, friends, friends! Here I am with my little bell. How do you do? It's so good to see all of you, whether I can see you or not. Hi there! And as a matter of fact, Miles the dog wanted to say hi to everybody. He has a brand new shirt and he wanted to make sure that everybody knew just where he stands on things. Miles the dog will not be playing crab today, but that's okay, isn't it, old man? You're gonna be just fine. I'm so glad you're all here today to see the show. Okay, so what's gonna happen? I am going to attempt to keep all these people reined in. Who knows if I shall be successful or not, friends, because I know how hard it is to keep me reined in when I'm out there. But that's okay. We're going to make sure it happens. Now, what do I do in all of this? My job as the prompter is to keep the show under control. If there are any things that happen, I'm going to introduce something fun so that we can keep things rolling until we can correct whatever that technical problem is. But also, the thing that I enjoy about being a prompter is I love hyping folks up because I think it's really fun in the park to do that. Now, since we have not what we have in the park, we can't actually hear your physical voices or see your physical faces. But what we can do is read your physical words. So I want you to limber up those fingers. And yep, there you go. And get ready to tippy type. So, all of you folks, what would you do if you note that some bad folk are doing dastardly things? How would you respond to that? With big boos, boo, or hiss? I love it. I haven't seen anybody type hiss yet. Hiss, icky, stuff like that. If you note that some good folk are making wonderful things happen, how are you going to respond to that? Hopefully with a series of yays and woohoos and oh my goshes. Yeah, a little bit of tippy typing on that. And of course, if you see lovers being in love, how would you respond to that, my friends? Seeing that happen, lovers in love. Oh, 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 so cute, so kisses, so nice, so sweet. Oh no, oh gosh. Yeah, stuff like that. That's what we're hoping for. All right. Well, I believe, my friends, we may be ready for this thing to happen. So let me make sure I have all my things in place. I have my bell, which is how I will stop the action. I have my dog here for no particular reason other than I love having a dog. And we have the text in front of us. So, without any further hesitation, let us begin The Two Gentlemen of Verona by William Shakespeare.
Cease to persuade, my loving Proteus, were not affection chains thy tender days to the sweet glances of thy honored love. I rather would entreat thy company to see the wonders of the world abroad than, living dully sluggardized at home, wear out thy youth with shapeless idleness. Since thou lovest, love still, and thrive therein, even as I would if when I to love begin.
Wilt thou be gone? Sweet Valentine, adieu. Think on thy Proteus, when thou happily seest some rare, noteworthy object in thy trap. Wish me partaker in thy happiness when thou dost meet good hap, and in thy danger, if ever danger do environ thee, commend thy grievance to my holy prayers, for I will be thy bedsman, Valentine.
And on a love book, pray for my success.
Upon some book I love, I'll pray for thee.
And to be in love when scorn is bought with groans, coy looks with heart sore sighs, one fading moment's mirth with 20 watchful, weary, tedious nights, however, but a folly but with wit, or else by a wit by folly vanquished.
So by your circumstance you call me fool.
So by your circumstance I fear you'll prove.
'Tis love, you cavalette. I am not love.
Love is your master, for he masters you, and he that is so yoked by a fool, methinks should not be chronicled to be wise. But wherefore waste I time to counsel thee that art a votary to fond desire? Once more.
Gentlemen, I am very curious. Proteus, Valentine, when exactly did you guys meet?
We met, I'm pretty sure, literally like right after we were born. We were put into the same like hospital room, you know, the kind of like after the baby's born kind of thing.
They
like,
were worried they switched us at a certain point, but then they figured out, no, they're the right ones. But
right, yeah. Exactly, yeah, because this isn't Comedy Verse. So
yes.
Yeah.
That's right, gentlemen. It is not Comedy of Errors. It is Two Gentlemen of Verona. So please, Valentine, once more adieu.
Once more adieu. My father at the road expects my coming there to see me shipped.
And thither will I bring thee, Valentine.
Sweet Proteus, no. Now let us take our leave. To Mullane, let me hear from thee by letters of thy success in love. And what news else betideth here in absence of thy friend? And I likewise will visit thee with mine.
All happiness bechance thee in Mullane.
As much to you at home. And so, farewell.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Mwah, mwah.
Oh, he after honor hunts, I after love. He leaves his friends to dignify them more. I love myself, my friends, and all for love. Now, Julia, thou hast metamorphized me, made me neglect my studies, lose my time, war with good counsel, see the world at naught, made wit with musing, weak, heartsick with thought.
Speed, Sir Proteus, save you! Sir Proteus, save you!
Sir Proteus, save you! Save you, saw you, my master!
But now he parted hence to embark from Mullane.
20 to 1, then he's shipped already. And I have played the sheep in losing him.
Indeed, a sheep doth very often stray, and if the shepherd be a while away.
You concluded that my master is a shepherd then? And I sheep?
I do.
Why then, my horns are his horns, whether I wake or sleep.
A silly answer, and fitting well a sheep.
This proves me still a sheep.
True, and thy master a shepherd.
Nay, that I can deny by a circumstance.
It shall go hard, but I'll prove it by another.
The shepherd seeks the sheep, and not the sheep the shepherd. But I seek my master, and my master seeks not me. Therefore, I am no sheep.
The sheep for fodder follow the shepherd. The shepherd for food follows not the sheep. Thou for wages follow thy master. Thy master for wages follows not thee. Therefore, thou art a sheep.
Such another proof will make me cry, bah.
But dost thou hear?
Oh, folks. I need to ask a question here. So how important are sheep to your lives?
Well, I'm gonna let Speed answer that one because I don't deal with sheep.
Pretty much not important at all. He just wanted to make a mean joke at me, I think. So that's pretty much the extent of my sheepery, is getting called one by jerks.
So sheepery. All right, I understand. I won't push the sheepery here. But please, Speed, if you would speak, such another proof will make me.
Such another proof will make me cry, bah.
But dost thou hear? Gavest thou my letter to Julia?
I, sir, I, a lost mutton, gave your letter to her, a laced mutton, and she, a laced mutton, gave me, a lost mutton, nothing for my labor.
I see what you did with the sheep thing. Yeah. Here's too small a pasture for such store of muttons.
If the ground be overcharged, you were best stick her.
Nay, in that you are astray. 'Twere best pound you.
Nay, sir, lesser than a pound shall serve me for carrying your letter.
You mistake. I mean the pound, a pinfold.
From a pound to a pin, fold it over and over. 'Tis threefold too little for carrying a letter to your lover.
Beshrew me, but you have a quick wit.
And yet it cannot overtake your slow purse.
Come, open the matter in brief. What said she?
Oh, open your purse, that the money and the matter may be both at once delivered.
Well, sir, here is for your pains. What said she?
Truly, sir, I think you'll hardly win her.
Why? Couldst thou perceive so much from her?
Sir, I could not perceive nothing at all from her. No, not so much as a ducat for delivering your letter. Give her no token but stones, for she's as hard as steel.
What? It said she nothing.
But no, not so much as take this for thy pains. To testify your bounty, I thank you. You have cesterned me in requital whereof henceforth carry your letters yourself. And so, sir, I'll commend you to my master.
Go, be gone to save your ship from wrack, which cannot perish, having thee aboard, being destined to a drier death on shore. I must go send some better messenger. I fear my Julia would not deign my lines, receiving them from such a worthless post.
Say, Lucetta, now we are alone. Wouldst thou then counsel me to fall in love?
Aye, madam, so you stumble not unheedfully.
Of all the fair resort of gentlemen that every day with parle encounter me, in thy opinion, which is worthiest love?
Ooh, please you repeat their names. I'll show my mind according to my shallow, simple skill.
What thinkest thou of the fair Sir Glenmore?
Ooh, as of a knight, well spoken, neat and fine, but were I you, he never should be mine.
What thinkest thou of the rich Mercatio?
Ooh, well, of his wealth, but of himself, so-so.
What thinkest thou of the gentle Proteus?
Oh, Lord, to see what folly reigns in us.
Oh, now, what means this passion at his name?
Pardon, dear madam, 'tis a passing shame that I, unworthy as I am, should censure thus on lovely gentlemen.
Why not on Proteus, as of all the rest?
Then, thus, of many good, I think him best.
Your reason?
I have no other, but a woman's reason. I think him so because I think him so.
And wouldst thou have me cast my love on him?
Aye, if you thought your love not cast away.
Why, he of all the rest hath never moved me.
Yet he, of all the rest, I think best loves ye.
His little speaking shews his love but small.
Fire that's closest kept burns most of all.
They do not love that do not shew their love.
Oh, they love least that let men know their love.
I would I knew his mind.
Peruse this paper, madam.
To Julia, say from whom?
That the contents will show.
Say, who gave it thee?
Sir Valentine's page, and sent, I think, from Proteus. He would have given it you, but I, being in the way, did in your name receive it. Pardon the fault, I pray.
Now, by my modesty, a goodly broker, dare you presume to harbor wanton lines, to whisper and conspire against my youth?
Oh.
Now, trust me, 'tis an office of great worth, and you an officer fit for the place. There, take the paper, see if you return, or else return no more into my sight.
To plead for love deserves more fee than hate.
Will ye be gone?
That you may ruminate.
And yet I would had o'erlooked the letter. It were a shame to call her back again. What fool is she that knows I am a maid and would not force the letter to my view? Since maids in modesty say no to that which they would have the profferer construe, fie, how wayward is this foolish love, that like a testy babe will scratch the nurse and presently all humbled kiss the rod. How angrily I taught my brow to frown, when inward joy enforced my heart to smile. Oh, my penance is to call Lucetta back. What ho, Lucetta!
What would your ladyship?
Is it near dinner time?
I would it were, that you might kill your stomach on your meat and not upon your maid.
What is it that you took up so gingerly?
Oh, nothing.
Why dost thou stoop then?
To take a paper up that I let fall.
And is that paper nothing?
Nothing concerning me.
Then let it lie for those that it concerns.
Madam, it will not lie where it concerns unless it have a false interpreter.
Some love of yours hath writ to you in rhyme.
That I might sing it, madam, to a tune. Give me a note your ladyship can set.
As little by such toys as may be possible, but sing it to the tune of "Oh of Light, oh Love."
It is too heavy for so light a tune.
Heavy? Be like it hath some burden then.
Aye, and melodious were it. Would you sing it?
And why not you?
I cannot reach so high.
Let's see your song. How now then?
Tune there still, so you will sing it out. And yet, methinks I do not like this tune.
You do not?
No, madam, 'tis too sharp.
You, minion, are too saucy.
Oh, nay, now you are too flat, and mar the concord of too harsh a descant. There wanteth but a mean to fill your song.
The mean is drowned with you, unruly base.
Indeed, I bid the base for Proteus.
This babble.
My friends, I am a little curious. Julia, cover your ears for a second. Lucetta, how exactly did you get that letter, really?
Oh, there's this. He had his friend send his page to send his letter to Julia. How roundabout is that? boys. Jeez. Yeah. So Speed came along and he was lounging around on the front yard, not going anywhere really quickly. I was like, what are you doing here? And he's like, well, I got this paper and I'm supposed to give it to Julia, but Julia's inside doing her hair. And I was like, yeah, she does her hair a lot. It takes a long time, you know. So he gave it to me and I took it.
I understand. You are a very honorable maid, I must say.
Oh, thank you.
Julia, you can open your ears again. How about you start on this babble shall not henceforth?
This babble shall not henceforth trouble me. Here is a coil with protestation.
Oh.
Oh, get you gone and let the papers lie. You would be fingering them to anger me.
She makes it strange, but she would be best pleased to be so angered with another letter.
Nay, would I were so angered with the same awakeful hands, to tear such loving words, injurious wasps, to feed on such sweet honey, and kill the bees that yield it with your stings. I'll kiss each several paper for amends. Look, here's writ, kind Julia, unkind Julia. As in revenge of thy ingratitude, I throw my name against the bruising stones, tramping contemptuously with thy disdain. And here is writ, love, wounded Protheus. Poor wounded name, my bosom as a bed shall lodge thee till thy wound be throughly healed, and thus I search it with a sovereign kiss. But twice or thrice was Proteus written down. Be calm, good wind, blow not a word away till I have found each letter in the letter, except mine own name, that some whirlwind bear onto the ragged, fearful, hanging rock, and throw it thence into the raging sea. Oh, lo, here in one line is his name, twice writ. Poor forlorn Proteus, passionate Proteus, to the sweet Julia. I'll tear that away. And yet I will not. Sits so prettily, he couples it to his complaining names. Thus I will fold them, one upon the other. Now kiss, embrace, contend. Do what you will.
Madam! Dinner is ready and your father stays.
Well, let us go.
What? Oh, shall these papers lie like telltales here?
You respect them, best to take them up.
Oh, nay, I was taken up for laying them down, yet here they shall not lie for catching cold.
Come, please do go.
Oh, sweet love, sweet lines, sweet life. Oh, here is her hand, the agent of her heart. Here is her oath for love, her honor's pawn. Oh, that our fathers would applaud our loves to seal our happiness with their consents. Oh, heavenly Julia.
Hey, oh, how now? What letter are you reading there?
May it please your lordship, 'tis a word or two of commendations from Valentine, delivered by a friend that came from him.
Lend me the letter. Let me see what news.
There is no news, my lord, but that he writes how happily he lives, how well beloved and daily graced by the emperor, wishing be with him, partner of his fortune.
Ooh. Oh, and how stand you affected to his wish?
As one relying on your lordship's will, and not depending on his friendly wish.
Oh, my will is something sorted with his wish. Muse not that I thus suddenly proceed. For what I will, and there an end. I am resolved that thou shalt spend some time with Valentinus in the emperor's court. Tomorrow be in readiness to go. Excuse it not, for I am peremptory.
My lord, I cannot be so soon provided. Please you deliberate a day or two.
Look what thou wantest shall be sent after thee. No more of stay. Tomorrow thou must go.
Ah, thus have I shunned the fire for fear of burning, and drenched me in the sea where I am drowned. I feared to show my father Julia's letter, lest he should take exceptions to my love, and with the vantage of mine own excuse, hath he accepted most against my love. Oh, how will this spring of love resembleth the uncertain glory of an April day, which now shews all beauty of the sun, by and by a cloud takes all away.
Uh, sir, your glove.
Oh,
Your glove.
not mine. My gloves are on. Safety
Well,
first.
Why then, this may be yours, for this is but one.
Oh, let me see. It is mine. Sweet. Give it me. Sweet ornament that decks a thing divine. Oh, Sylvia.
Madam Sylvia! Madam Sylvia!
How now, Sirrah?
She is not within hearing, sir.
Why, sir, who bade you call her?
Your worship, sir, or else I mistook.
You'll still be too forward.
And yet I was last chidden for being too slow.
Go to, sir, tell me. Do you know Madam Sylvia?
She that your worship loves?
Well, now, how do you know that I am love?
Marry by these special marks. First, you have learned, like Sir Proteus, to relish a love song, like a robin redbreast, to walk alone like one that had the pestilence, to sigh like the schoolboy who had lost his ABC, to weep like a young wench that had buried her grandam. You were wont, when laughed, to crow like a cock. When you walked, to walk like one of the lions. You looked sadly, it was for want of money. And now you are metamorphosized the mistress, that when I look upon you, I can hardly think you my master.
Are all these things perceived in me?
They are all perceived without thee.
Without me, they cannot.
Without you, nay, that's certain. For without you were so simple, none else would. But you are so without these follies, that these follies are within you and shine through you like water in a urinal, that not an eye sees you, but it is a physician to comment on your malady.
Oh, but tell me, dost thou know my lady Sylvia?
She that you gaze on so as she sits at supper.
Hast thou observed that? Even she, I mean.
Why, sir, I know her not.
Dost thou know her by my gazing on her, and yet knowst her not?
Is she not hard favored, sir?
Not so fair, boy, as well favored.
You never saw her since she was deformed.
How long hath she been deformed?
Ever since you loved her.
Though I have loved her ever since I saw her, and still I see her beautiful.
If you love her, you cannot see her.
Why?
Because love is blind. Oh, that you had my eyes, or your own eyes had the lights that they were wont to have when you chid at Sir Proteus for going ungartered.
What should I see then?
What your own present folly and her passing deformity, for he being in love could not see to garter his hose. And
Belike,
you
boy.
being in love can not see to put on your hose.
Belike, boy, then you are in love, for last morning you could not see to wipe my shoes.
True, sir. I was in love with my bed. I thank you. You swinged me for my love, which makes me bolder to chide you for yours.
In conclusion, I stand affected to her.
I would you were set, so your affection would cease.
Last night she enjoined me to write some lines to one she loves.
And have you?
I have.
Are they not lamely writ?
No, boy, but as well as I can do them. Oh, peace! Here she comes! Shh, shh.
Oh, excellent motion. Oh, exceeding puppet. Now will he interpret to her.
Oh, madam and mistress, 1,000 good morrows.
Oh, give ye good even. Here's a million of manners.
Sir Valentine and servant to you 2,000.
He should give her interest, and she gives it him.
As you enjoined me, I have written your letter unto the secret nameless friend of yours, which I was much unwilling to proceed in, but for my duty to your ladyship.
I thank you, gentle servant. 'Tis very clerkly done.
Now, trust me, madam, it came hardly off for being ignorant to whom it goes. I read at random, very doubtfully.
Perchance you think too much with so much pains.
Oh, no, madam, so it steed you. I will write, please you command 1,000 times as much, and yet...
A pretty period. Well, I guess the sequel, and yet I will not name it, and yet I care not, and yet take this again, and yet I thank you, meaning henceforth to trouble you no more.
And yet you will, and yet, another yet.
What means your ladyship? Do you not like it?
Oh, yes, the life very quaintly writ, but since unwillingly take them again. Nay, take them.
Madam, they are for you.
You writ them, sir, at my request, but I will none of them. They are for you. I would have them writ more movingly.
Oh, please you, I'll write your ladyship another.
And when it's writ, read it over, and if it please you, so. If not, why, so.
If it please me, madam, what then?
Why, if it please you, take it for your labor. And so, good morrow, servant.
Oh, just unseen, inscrutable, invisible as a nose on a man's face or a weathercock on a steeple. My master sues to her, and she hath taught her suitor, he being her pupil, to become her tutor. Oh, excellent device. Was there ever heard a better? That my master, being scribe, to himself should write the letter.
Well, how now, sir? What are your reasoning with yourself?
Nay, I was rhyming. 'Tis you that have the reason.
To do what?
To be a spokesman from Madam Sylvia.
To whom?
To yourself. Why, she woos by a figure.
What figure?
By a letter, I should say.
Why, she hath not writ to me.
What need she when she hath made you write to yourself? Why do you not perceive the jest?
No, believe me.
No, believing you indeed, sir. But did you perceive her earnest?
She gave me none except an angry word.
Why, she hath given you a letter.
That's the letter I writ her friend.
And that letter she delivered, and there an end.
I would it were no worse.
I'll warrant you, 'tis as well. For often have you writ to her, and she in modesty, or else want of idle time, could not again reply, or fearing else some messenger that might her mind discover, herself hath taught her love himself to write unto her lover. Why muse you, sir? It's dinner time.
I have dined.
Aye, but hearken, sir. Though the chameleon love can feed on the air, I am one that am nourished by victuals, and would fain have meat. Oh, be not like your mistress. Be moved. Be moved.
Okay, I don't get it.
Get out of here.
Have patience, gentle Julia.
must where is no remedy.
When possibly I can, I will return.
If you turn not, you will return the sooner. Keep this remembrance in thy Julia's sake.
Why, then we'll make exchange. Here, take this.
And seal the bargain with a holy kiss.
Here's my hand for my true constancy. When that hour o'erslips me in the day where I sigh not, Julia, for thy sake, the next ensuing hour some foul mischance torment me for my love's forgetfulness. My father stays my coming. Answer not. The tide is now. Nay, not thy tide of tears. That tide will stay me longer than I should. Julia, farewell. What, gone without a word? Aye, so true love should do. Cannot speak, for truth hath better deeds than words to grace it. Alas, this parting strikes poor lovers dumb.
Nay, 'twill be this hour ere I have done weeping. All of Launces have this very fault. I have received my proportion like the prodigious sun. I am going with Sir Proteus to the Imperial's court. I think my dog, Crab, be the sourest-natured dog that lives. My mother, weeping, my father, wailing, my sister, crying, and our maid howling, our cat wringing her hands, and all the house in a great perplexity. Yet did not this cruel-hearted cur shed one tear. Heart of stone, a very pebble stone, and has no more pity in him than a dog. Why, my grandam, having no eyes, look you, wept herself blind at my party. Nay, I'll show you the manner of it. Here, come with me. Yeah, right over here. Yeah. Okay. This shoe is my father. No, this left shoe is my father. No, this left shoe is my mother. Nay, that cannot be so neither. Oh, yes, it is. Hath the worser soul. Yeah, this shoe with the hole in it is my mother, and this is my father. Yes, a vengeance on it. Terror. Oh, this staff is my sister. For look on it, it's shiny and as small as a wand. Now this hat is Nan, our maid, and I am the dog. No, the dog is himself, and I am the dog. No, the dog is me, and I am myself. Now come I to my father. Father, your blessing. Now should not the soul speak for weeping. Now I should kiss my father. Well, he weeps on. Now come I to my mother. Oh, that she could speak. Well, now I kiss her. Why, there it is. Here's my mother's breath, up and down. Now come I to my sister. Mark all the moans she makes. Oh, don't go. Now the dog, all this while, sheds not a tear. Well, nor speaks a word, but see how I lay the dust with my tears.
Launce! Launce, away, aboard! Thy master is shipped, and thou art to post after with oars. What's the matter? Why weep'st thou, Sirrah? Away, ass! You'll lose the tide if you tarry any longer.
It is no matter if the tide were lost, for it is the unkindest tide that ever any man tied.
What's the unkindest tide?
Why, he that is here, Crab, my dog.
Oh, doggy, tut, Sirrah. It means thou lose the flood, and in loosing the flood, loose thy voyage, and in loosing thy voyage, loose thy master, and in loosing thy master, loose thy service.
lose the tide and the voyage and the master and the service and the tide. Why, man, if the river were dry, I am able to fill it with my tears. If the wind were down, I could drive the boat with my sighs.
Come away, Sirrah, I have come to call thee.
Sir, call me what thou darest.
Wilt thou go?
Well, I will go.
Ah,
Servant!
Oh, mistress. Mistress.
Master,
Master! Sir Thurio frowns on you.
Aye, boy, 'tis for love.
Not of you.
Of my mistress, then.
'Twere good you knocked him.
Servant, you are sad.
Indeed, madam, I seem so.
Seem you that you are not?
Happily I do.
Oh, so do counterfeits.
So do you?
What seem I that I am not?
Wise.
What instance of the contrary?
Your folly.
and how quote you?
How quote you my folly?
I quote it in your jerkin.
My jerkin is a doublet.
Well, then I'll double your folly.
How?
What angry Sir Thurio, do you change color?
Give him leave, madam. He is a kind of chameleon.
That hath more mind to feed on your blood than live in your air.
You have said, sir.
Aye, sir, and done too for this time.
I know it well, sir. You always end ere you begin.
A fine volley of words, gentlemen, and quickly shut up.
'Tis indeed, madam. We thank the giver.
Who is that, servant?
Yourself, sweet lady, for you gave the fire.
Sir, if you spend word for word with me, I shall make your wit bankrupt.
I know it well, sir. You have an exchequer of words.
No more, gentlemen, no more. Here comes my father.
Now, daughter Sylvia, you are hard beset. Sir Valentine, your father is in good health. What say you to a letter from your friends of much good news?
My lord, I will be thankful to any happy messenger from hence.
Know ye Don Antonio, your countryman?
Why, my good lord, I know the gentleman to be of worth and worthy estimation, and not without desert so well reputed.
Hath he not a son?
Aye, my good lord, a son that well deserves the honor and regard of such a father.
You know him well.
I knew him as myself, for from our infancy we have conversed and spent our hours together, and though myself have been an idle truant, omitting the sweet benefit of time to clothe mine age with angel-like perfection, yet hath Sir Proteus, for that's his name, made use and fair advantage of his days. His years but young, but his experience old, his head unmellowed, but his judgment ripe. He is complete in feature and in mind, with all good grace to grace a gentleman.
Beshrew me, sir, but if he has this good, he is as worthy as an empress' love, as meet to be an emperor's counselor. Well, sir, this gentleman is come to me, and here he means to spend the time a while. I think 'tis no unwelcome news to you.
Should I have wished a thing, it had been he.
Welcome him then, according to his worth. I will send him hither to you presently.
This is the gentleman I told your ladyship had come along with me, but that his mistress did hold his eyes locked in her crystal looks.
Oh, belike that she hath now enfranchised them upon some other pawn for fealty.
Nay, sure, I think she holds them prisoners still.
Nay, then he should be blind, and being blind, how could he see his way to seek out you?
Why, love hath 20 pairs of eyes.
Oh, they say that love hath not an eye at all.
To see such lovers, Thurio, as yourself, upon an homely object love can wink.
Have done, have done. Here comes the gentleman.
Welcome, welcome, dear Proteus. Mistress, I beseech you, confirm his favor with welcome with some special favor.
His worth is warrant his welcome hither, if this be he you oft wish to hear from.
Mistress, it is sweet lady, entertain him to be my fellow servant to your ladyship.
Too low a mistress for so high a servant.
Not so, sweet lady, but too mean a servant to have a look of such a worthy mistress.
Leave off discourse of disability. Sweet lady, entertain him for your servant.
My duty will I boast of, nothing else.
And duty never did yet want his meed. Servant, you are welcome to a worthless mistress.
Oh, I'll die on him that says so but yourself.
That you are welcome?
That you are worthless.
Madam, my lord, your father would speak with you.
I wait upon his pleasure. Come, Sir Thurio, go with me. Once more, new servant, welcome. Well, leave you two to confer of home affairs. When we have done, we look to hear from you.
We'll both attend upon your ladyship.
Now tell me, how do all from whence you came?
Your friends are well, and have they much commended.
And how do yours?
I left them all in health.
And how does your lady, and how thrives your love?
My tales of love were wont to weary you. I know you joy not in the love discourse.
Ay, Proteus, but that life is altered now. I have done penance for contemning love, whose high imperious thoughts have punished me with bitter fasts, with penitential groans, with nightly tears and daily heart sore sighs of mine own heart sorrow. Yeah, laugh it up. Gentle Proteus loves a high lord, and hath so humbled me, as I confess there's no discourse, except it be of love. Now can I break my fast, dine, sup, and sleep upon the very naked name of love.
Enough! I read your fortune in your eye. Was this the idol that you worship so?
Even she, and is she not a heavenly saint?
No, but she is an earthly paragon.
Oh, call her divine.
I will not flatter her.
Oh, flatter me, for love delights in all praises.
When I was sick, you gave me bitter pills, and I must minister the like to you.
Then speak the truth by her, if not divine, yet let her be some principality, sovereign to all the creatures of the earth.
Except my mistress.
Sweet, except not any.
Have I not reason to prefer mine own?
And I will help thee to prefer her too. She shall be dignified with this high honor to bury my lady's train, lest the base earth should from her vesture chance to steal a kiss.
Why, Valentine, what braggadocio is this?
Pardon me, Proteus, all I can is nothing to her whose worth makes all other worthies nothing. She is alone.
Then let her alone.
Not for the world. Why, man, she is my own, and I as rich for having such a jewel as 20 seas, if all their sand were pearl, the water nectar, and the rocks pure gold. Forgive me that I do not dream on thee, my foolish rival that her father likes only for his possessions are so huge. Gone with her along, and I must after, for love, thou knowest, is full of jealousies.
But she loves you.
And we are betrothed, nay more, our marriage hour, with all the cunning manner of our flout determined of, how I must climb her window, the ladder made of cords, and all this means plotted and agreed on for my happiness. Good Proteus, go with me to my chamber, and these affairs to aid me with thy counsel.
Go on before, I shall require you forth. I must unto the road to disembark some necessities that I needs must use, and then I'll presently attend you.
Will you make haste?
I will. Even as one heat, another heat expels, or as one nail by strength drives out another, so the remembrance of my former love is by a newer object quite forgotten. Is it mine or Valentine's praise? Her true perfection, or my false transgression that makes me reasonless to reason thus? She is fair, and so is Julia that I love, that I did love. For now my love is thawed, which like a waxen image against a fire bears no impression of the thing it was. Tis but her picture I have yet beheld, and that hath dazzled my reason's light. But when I look on her perfections, there is no reason but I shall be blind. If I can check my erring love, I will. If not, to compass her, I'll use my skill.
Balance by mine honesty. Welcome to Padua.
Oh, forswear not thyself, sweet youth, for I am not welcome. I reckon this always. No one is ever welcomed until he be hanged, nor welcome to place till some certain shot be paid, or the hostess say welcome.
Oh, come on, you madcap. I'll to the alehouse with you presently, where for one shot of 5 pence thou shalt have 5,000 welcomes. Ah, how did thy master part with Madame Julia?
Mary, after they closed in earnest, they parted very fairly in jest.
But shall she marry him?
No.
How then? Shall he marry her?
No, neither.
What, are they broken?
No, they are both as whole as fish.
Okay, why then? How stands the matter with them?
Mary, thus, when it stands well with him, it stands well with her.
What an ass art thou? I understand thee not.
What a block art thou that thou canst not? My staff understands me.
What thou sayst?
Well, I and what I do too. Look thee, but I lean on my staff, and it understands me.
Oh, it stands under thee indeed.
Why, stand under and understand are all one.
But tell me true, will it be a match?
Ask my dog. If he say aye, it will. If he say no, it will. If he shake his tail and say nothing, it will.
The conclusion is then that it will.
Thou shalt never get such a secret from me, but by a parable.
'Tis well I get it so. Valance, how sayest thou that my master has become a notable lover?
Why, I never knew him otherwise.
Then how?
A notable lubber, as thou reportst him to be.
Oh, why, thou horse and ass, thou mistakest me.
Why, fool, I meant not thee, I meant thy master.
I tell thee my master has become a hot lover.
Why, I tell thee, I care not, though he burn himself in love. If thou wilt go with me to the alehouse, wilt thou go?
At thy service.
To leave my Julia, shall I be forsworn? To love fair Sylvia, shall I be forsworn? To wrong my friend, I shall be much forsworn. And even that power which gave me first my oath provokes me to this threefold perjury. Love bade me swear, and love bids me forswear. Sweet suggesting love, if thou hast sinned, teach me, thy tempted subject, to excuse it. At first I did adore a twinkling star, but now I worship a celestial sun. Unheedful vows may heedfully be broken. Julia I lose, and Valentine I lose, If I keep them, I needs must lose myself. If I lose them, thus find I by their loss for Valentine myself, for Julia, Sylvia. I to myself am deeper than a friend, for love is still most precious in itself. I will forget that Julia is alive, remembering that my love to her is dead. And Valentine, I'll hold an enemy, aiming at Sylvia as a sweeter friend. I cannot now prove constant to myself without some treachery used to Valentine. This knife he meaneth to with a corded ladder to climb celestial Sylvia's chamber window. Now, presently, I'll give her father notice of their disguising and pretended flight. Love, lend me wings to make my purpose swift, as thou hast lent me wit to plot this drift.
Counsel, Lucetta, gentle girl, assist me, and even in kind love I do conjure thee to lessen me, and tell me some good mean how with my honor I may undertake a journey to my loving Proteus.
Alas, the way is wearisome and long.
A true devoted pilgrim is not weary to measure kingdoms with his feeble steps, much less shall she that hath love's wings to fly. And when the flight is made to one so dear, of such divine perfection as Sir Proteus.
Better forbear till Proteus make return.
Oh, knowest you not his looks are my soul's food? Didst thou but know the inly touch of love, thou wouldst as soon go kindle fire with snow as seek to quench the fire of love with words.
I do not seek to quench.
The more thou dampst it up, the more it burns. Then let me go, and hinder not my course. I'll be as patient as a gentle stream, and make a pastime of each weary step, till the last step hath brought me to my love. And there I'll rest, as after much turmoil a blessed soul doth in Elysium.
But in what habit will you go along?
Not like a woman, for I would prevent the loose encounters of lascivious men. Gentle Lucetta, fit me with such weeds as may beseem some well-reputed page.
Why then your ladyship must cut your hair.
No, girl, I'll knit it up in silken strings with 20-odd conceited true love knots. To be fantastic may become a youth of greater time than I shall shoot to be.
What fashion, madam, shall I make your breeches?
Why, even what fashion thou best likes, Lucetta.
You must needs have them with a codpiece, madam.
Out, Lucetta, that will be ill-favored.
A round hose, madam, now's not worth a pin unless you have a codpiece to stick pins on.
Lucetta, as thou lovest me, let me have what thou thinkst meet and is most mannerly. But tell me, wench, how will the world repute me for undertaking so unstead a journey? I fear me it will make me scandalized.
You think so? Then stay at home and go not, no matter who's displeased when you are gone. I fear me he will scarce be pleased withal.
That is the least, Lucetta, oh my fear. 1,000 oaths, an ocean of his tears, and instances of infinite of love warrant me welcome to my Proteus.
All these are servants to deceitful men.
Base men that use them to so base effect. But truer stars did govern Proteus' birth. His words are bonds, his oaths are oracles, his love sincere, his thoughts immaculate, his tears pure messengers sent from his heart as far from fraud as heaven from earth.
Pray heaven he prove so when you come to him.
Now, as thou lovest me, do him not that wrong. Bear a hard opinion of his truth, only deserve my love by loving him. And presently go with me to my chamber and take a note of what I stand in need of, to furnish me upon my longing journey. All that is mine I leave at thy dispose, my goods, my lands, my reputation. Only in lieu thereof, dispatch me hence. Come, answer not, but to it presently. I am in patience of my tarriance.
Sir Thurio, give us leave, I pray. A while, we have some secrets to confer about. Now tell me, Proteus, what's your will with me?
My gracious lord, that which I would discover, the law of friendship bids me to conceal. But when I call to mind your gracious favors done to me, undeserving as I am, my duty pricks me on to utter that which else no worldly good should draw from me. No, worthy prince, Sir Valentine, my friend, this night intends to steal away your daughter. I know you have determined to bestow her on Thurio, whom your gentle daughter hates. Thus, for my duty's sake, I rather chose to cross my friend in his intended drift than by concealing it, heap on your head a pack of sorrows, which would press you down, being unprevented to your timeless grave.
Proteus, I thank thee for your kind, honest care, which to requite command me while I live. This love of theirs, myself have often seen, haply when they have judged me fast asleep, and that thou mayest perceive my fear of this, I nightly lodge her in an upper tower, the key whereof myself have ever kept, and thence she cannot be conveyed away.
No, noble lord, they have devised a mean how her chamber window will ascend, and with a corded ladder fetch her down, for which the youthful lover now is gone, and this way comes he with it presently, where, if it please you, you may intercept him. But, good my lord, do it so cunningly that my discovery be not aimed at.
Upon mine honor, he shall never know that I had any light of thee, of this.
Adieu, my lord. Sir Valentine is coming.
Sir Valentine!
What?
Brother away so fast.
Oh, please it your grace, there is a messenger that stays to bear my letters to my friends, and I am going to deliver them.
Be they of much import?
The tenure of them doth but signify my health and happy being at your court.
Nay, then, no matter, stay with me a while. I am to break with thee of some affairs that touch me near, wherein thou must be secret. 'Tis not unknown to thee that I have sought to match my friend Sir Thurio to my daughter.
I know it well, my lord, and sure the match were rich and honorable. Besides, the gentleman is full of virtue, bounty, worth, and qualities beseeming such a wife as your fair daughter. Cannot your grace win her fancy to him?
No, trust me. She is peevish, sullen, forward, proud, disobedient, stubborn, lacking duty, neither regarding that she is my child, nor fearing me as if I were her father. And may I say to thee, this pride of hers, upon advice, hath drawn my love from her. And where I thought the remnant of mine age should have been cherished by her childlike duty, I now am resolved to take a wife and turn her out to who will take her in, and then let her beauty be her wedding dower. For me and my possessions she esteems not.
What would your grace have me do in this?
There is a lady in Verona here whom I affect, but she is nice and coy, and naught esteems my aged eloquence. Now, therefore, would I have thee to my tutor, for long agone I have forgot how to court. Beside, the fashion of the time is changed. There's all this twittering and things.
Oh, win her with gifts, if she respect not words. Dumb jewels often in their silent kind, more than quick words do move a woman's mind. It's my love language.
But she did scorn a present that I sent her.
A woman sometimes scorns what best contents her. Send her another. Never give her o'er, for scorn at first makes after love the more. If she do frown, 'tis not in hate of you, but rather to beget more love in you. Take no repulse whatever she doth say. flatter and praise, commend, extol their graces, if with his tongue he cannot win a woman.
But she, I mean, is promised by her friends unto a youthful gentleman of worth, and kept severely from resort of men, that no man hath access by day to her.
Oh, why then I would resort by night.
But the doors be locked, and keys kept safe, that no man hath recourse to her by night.
But what lets but one may enter at a window?
Now her chamber is a loft, 'tis far from the ground.
Why then a ladder quaintly made of cords to cast up with a pair of anchoring hooks.
Now as thou art a gentleman of blood, advise me where I may have such a ladder.
Oh, when would you use it? Pray, sir, tell me that.
This very night. For love is like a child that longs for everything that he can come by.
By 7 o'clock I'll get thee such a ladder.
But hark thee, I will go to her alone. How shall I best convey the ladder thither?
It will be light, my lord, as you may bear it under a cloak of any length.
A cloak as long as thine will serve the turn?
Aye, my good lord.
But then, let me see thy cloak. Get me one of such another length.
Oh, why any cloak will serve the turn, my lord.
How shall I fashion me to wear a cloak? I pray thee, let me feel thy cloak upon me. Huh? Oh,
Okay.
What letter is this same? What's here? To Sylvia. I'll be so bold as to break the seal for once. My thoughts do harbor with my Sylvia nightly, and thralls they are to me that send them flying. Oh, could their master come and go as lightly, they should harbor where their lord should be. What's here? Sylvia, this night I will enfranchise me, and so, here's the ladder to the purpose. Why, Phaeton, for thou art and Merop's son, wilt thou aspire to guide the heavenly car, and with thy daring folly burn the world? Wilt thou reach stars because thine shine on thee? Go, base intruder, overweening rogue, bestow thy fawning smiles on equal mates, and think my patience more than thy desert is privilege for thy departure hence. Thank me for this, more than for all the favors which all too much I have bestowed upon thee. But if thou linger in my territories longer than the swiftest expedition will give thee time to leave our royal court, by heaven, my wrath shall far exceed the love I ever bore my daughter or thyself. Be gone! I will not hear thy vain excuse, but as thou lovest thy life, make speed from hence.
And why not death, rather than living torment? To die is to be banished from myself, and Sylvia is myself. Banished from her is self from self, a deadly banishment. What light is light if Sylvia be not seen? What joy is joy if Sylvia be not by? I fly not from death to fly his deadly doom. Tarry I here, I but attend on death, but fly I hence, I fly from life.
Run, boy, run,
Run, run, girl, run, and seek him out.
Soho!
What seest thou?
Him we go to find. There's not a hair on his head. 'Tis a Valentine.
Valentine?
No.
Who then? His spirit?
No, neither.
What then?
Nothing.
Could nothing speak? Oh, master, shall I strike?
What? What wouldst thou strike?
Nothing.
Villain, forbear!
Why, sir, I'll strike nothing. I pray you.
Sirrah, I say, forbear! Friend Valentine, a word.
My ears are stopped and cannot hear good news. So much of bad hath already possessed them.
Then in dumb silence will I bury mine, for they are harsh, untunable, and bad.
Is Sylvia dead?
No, Valentine.
On my uh, prompter. No,
No,
Valentine
Valentine
indeed, for
indeed.
sacred Sylvia. Hath she forsworn me?
No, Valentine.
No, Valentine, if Sylvia hath forsworn me. What is your news?
Oh, sir, there's a proclamation that you are banished.
No, thou art banished, not vanished. Banished. Banished. Yeah, oh, that's the news. From hence, from Sylvia, and from me, thy friend.
Doth Sylvia know I am banished?
Aye, and she hath offered to the doom, which unreversed stands in effectual force, a sea of melting pearl, which some call tears. Those at her father's churlish feet she tendered, with them upon her knees her humble self, but neither bended knees, pure hands held up, sad sighs, deep groans, nor silver shedding tears could penetrate her uncompassionate sire. But Valentine, if he be ta'en, must die.
No more. Unless the next word that thou speaks have some malignant power upon my life. If so, I pray breathe it in mine ear.
Cease to lament for that thou canst not help, and study help for that which thou lamentst. Time is the nurse and breeder of all good. Here, if thou stay, thou canst not see thy love. Besides, thy staying will abridge thy life. Hope is a lover's staff. Walk hence with that, and manage it against despairing thoughts. Thy letters may be here, though thou art hence, which, being writ to me, shall be delivered even in the milky white bosom of thy love. Come, I'll convey thee through the city gate, as thou lovest Sylvia, but though not for thyself. Regard thy danger and along with me.
I pray thee, Launce, and if thou seest my boy, bid him make haste and meet me at the north gate.
Go, Sirrah, find him out. Come, Valentine.
Oh, my dear Sylvia, hapless Valentine.
Yeah.
Well, I am here to say that it is halftime of our play. And so, on this particular day, I guess I only have to say, folks, find you a way to rest yourselves, to eat and drink and help yourselves. We shall return in minutes 8, and hopefully the play you don't hate. We'll talk to you later, friends.
Hi, everyone. Have a great 8 minutes. And in those 8 minutes, maybe think about dropping a few ducats in the buckets. Remember, those links are down below, or maybe up here, or maybe over there, or maybe, it's a whole square here. You got options. You can also text OPS online at 44321. So see you in 8.
Hello, 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 friends. Oh my goodness, this is awesome. I am so delighted to be back for the second half of the Two Gentlemen of Verona, which in some ways could also, I suppose, be called the Lance and Speed Show, the Lance and Speed Show. Wonderful. I hope everybody was able to get a beverage, a little something to nosh on, and of course, any other dogs or cats have been fed and watered. That's always important. I believe we are ready to begin. And so, my friends, get ready. Make sure that you understand all your boos, all of your yays, all of your alls. And yes, okay, looks like everybody's ready. I'm looking at people yaying and cheering and booing and hissing. I think we need more hissing. That's super important. More hissing when hissing is necessary. Okay, here we go. All set for the second half of the Two Gentlemen of Verona.
I am but a fool, look you, and yet I have wit to think my master is a kind of knave. But that's all one. If he be one knave, he lives not now that knows me to be in love. Yet I am in love. But a team of horses shall not pluck that from me, nor who 'tis I love. And yet, 'tis a woman. But what woman I will not tell myself. And yet 'tis a milkmaid. And yet 'tis not a maid, for she hath gossips. Yet 'tis a maid, for she is her master's maid and serves for wages. Here's the catalog of her conditions. Empress, she can milk. Look you, a sweet virtue in a maid with clean hands.
How now,
How
Senor
now,
Lance?
Senor Lance? What news with your mastership?
With my mastership? Why it's at sea?
Well, your old vice still mistake the word. What news then in your paper?
Oh, the foulest news that hour thou heardst.
Let me read them.
Fie on thee, jolthead. Thou canst not read.
Thou liest, I can.
Well, I will try thee. Tell me this. Who begot thee?
Mary, the son of my grandfather.
Oh, illiterate loiterer. It was the son of thy grandmother. This proves that thou cannot read.
Come, fool. Come, try me in thy paper.
There. St. Nicholas be thy speed.
Imprimit. She can milk.
Aye, that she can.
Item, she brews good ale.
And thereof comes the proverb, blessing of your heart, you brew a good ale.
Item, she can sew.
Well, that's as much as to say, can she sew?
Item, she can knit.
What need one care for a sock with a wench when she can knit them a sock?
Item, she can wash and scour.
A special virtue, for then she need not be washed and scoured.
Item, she can spin.
Then may I set the world on wheels when she can spin for her living.
Item, she hath many nameless virtues.
That's as much as to say bastard virtues that indeed know not their fathers and therefore have no names.
Here follow her vices.
Close at the heels of her virtues.
Item, she is not to be fasting in respect of her breath.
Well, that's a fault that may be mended with breakfast. Read on.
Item, she hath a sweet mouth.
Well, that makes amends for her sour breath.
Item, she doth talk in her sleep.
Oh, 'tis no matter for that, so long as she not sleep in her talk.
Item, she is slow in words.
Oh, villain, set that down among her vices. To be slow in words is a person's only virtue. I pray thee out with it. Place it in her chief virtues.
That makes sense for a partner with like you. Item, she is proud.
Out with that too. That was Eve's legacy. It cannot be taken from her.
Item, she hath no teeth.
Oh, I care not for that neither, because I love crusts.
Item, she is cursed.
Well, the best is she hath no teeth to bite.
Item, she will often praise her liquor.
What if her liquor be good? She shall. If she will not, I will. For good things should be praised.
Item, she is too liberal.
Of her tongue she cannot, for that is writ down she is slow of. Of her purse she shall not, for that I'll keep shut. Now of another thing she may, and that I cannot help. Well, proceed.
Item, she hath more hair than wit, and more faults than hairs, and more wealth than faults.
Oh, stop there. I'll have her. She was mine and not mine, but twice or thrice in that last article. Rehearse it once more.
Item, she hath more hair than wit.
More hair than wit. It may be, I'll prove it. The cover of her salt hides the salt, and therefore it is more the salt. The hair that covers the wit is more than the wit, for the greater hides the less. Yeah? But what next?
And more faults than hairs.
Oh, that's monstrous. Would that were out.
And more wealth than faults.
Why, that word makes the faults gracious. Well, I'll have her. And if it be a match, as nothing is impossible.
What then?
Why then, I will tell thee, thy master stays for thee at the north gate.
For me.
For thee! I, who art thou? He that hath stayed for a better man than thee.
And I must go to him?
Thou must run to him. Thou hast stayed too long, that going will scarce serve the turn.
Why didst not tell me sooner? Talks of your love letters.
Oh, now he will be swinged for reading my letter. An unmannerly fool that will thrust himself into secrets. I'll after to rejoice in the boy's correction.
Sir Thurio, fear not, but that she will love you. Now Valentine is banished from her sight.
Oh, since his exile, she hath despised me most. So forsworn my company and railed at me, that I am desperate of obtaining her.
This weak impress of love is as a figure trenched in ice. With an hour's heat dissolves to water and doth lose its form. A little time will melt her frozen thoughts, and worthless Valentine shall be forgot. How now, Sir Proteus? Is your countryman, according to our proclamation, gone?
Gone, my good lord.
Well, my daughter takes his going grievously.
A little time, my lord, will kill that grief.
So I believe, but Thurio thinks not so. Proteus, the good conceit I hold of thee, for thou hast shown some sign of good desert, makes me the better to confer with thee.
Longer than I prove loyal to your grace, let me not live to look upon your grace.
Thou knowst how willingly I would effect the match between Sir Thurio and my daughter.
I do, my lord.
And also, I think thou art not ignorant how she opposes her against my will.
She did, my lord, when Valentine was here.
Aye, and perversely she perseveres so. What might we do to make the girl forget the love of Valentine and love Sir Thurio?
The best way is to slander Valentine with falsehood, cowardice, and poor descent. 3 things that women hold highly in hate.
Aye, but she'll think that it is spoke in hate.
Aye, if his enemy deliver it. Therefore, it must with circumstance be spoken by one whom she esteemeth as his friend.
Well, then you must undertake to slander him.
And that, my lord, I shall be loath to do. 'Tis an ill office for a gentleman, especially against his very friend.
Where your good word cannot advantage him, your slander can never endamage him. Therefore the office is indifferent, being entreated to it by your friend.
You have prevailed, my lord. If I can do it by aught that I can speak in his dispraise, she shall not long continue love to him. But say this weed her love from Valentine, it follows not that she will love Sir Thurio.
Therefore, as you unwind her love from him, lest it should ravel and be good to none, you must provide to bottom it on me, which must be done by praising me as much as you in worth dispraise Sir Valentine.
And, Protheus, we dare trust you in this kind, because we know on Valentine's report you are already love's firm votary, and cannot soon revolt and change your mind. Upon this warrant shall you have access, where you with Sylvia may confer at large, for she is lumpish, heavy, melancholy. These girls, and for your friend's sake, will be glad of you, where you may temper her by your persuasion to hate young Valentine and love my friend.
As much as I can do, I will effect. But you, Sir Thurio, are not sharp enough. You must lay lime to tangle her desires by wailful sonnets whose composed rhymes shall be full fraught with serviceable vows.
Aye, much is the force of heaven-bred poesy.
Say that upon the altar of her beauty, you sacrifice your tears, your sighs, your heart write till your ink be dry, and with your tears moist it again, and frame some feeling line that may discover such integrity after after your dire lamenting elegies. Visit by night your lady's chamber window. This or else nothing will inherit her.
This discipline shows thou hast been in love, huh? Huh? Huh?
And thy advice this night I'll put in practice. Therefore, sweet Proteus, my direction giver, let us into the city presently to sort some gentlemen well skilled in music. I'll have a sonnet that will serve the turn.
About it, gentlemen.
We'll wait upon your grace till after supper, and afterward determine our proceedings.
Even now about it. I will pardon you. Huh? Huh?
Fellows, stand fast. I see a passenger.
If there be 10, shrink not, but down with them.
Sir, and throwest that you have about ye, if not, will make you sit and rifle you.
Sir, we are undone. These are the villains that all the travelers do fear so much.
My friends.
That's not so, sir. We are your enemies.
Peace. We'll hear him.
Aye, by my beard, for he is a proper man.
Then know that I have little wealth to loose. A man I am, crossed with adversity. My riches are these poor habiliments, with which, if you should here disfurnish me, you take the sum and substance that I have.
Whither travel you?
To Verona.
Whence came you?
From Elaine.
How long have you sojourned there?
Some 16 months, and longer might have stayed if crooked fortune had not thwarted me.
What? Were you banished thence?
I was.
Oh.
For what offense?
For that which now torments me to rehearse. I killed a man whose death I much repented, but yet I slew him manfully in fight, without false vantage or base treachery.
Why ne'er repented if it were done so? But were you banished for so small a fault?
I was, and held me glad of such a doom.
By the bare scalp of Robin Hood's rat friar, this fellow were a king for our wild faction.
Master, be you one of them? It's an honorable kind of thievery.
A peace, villain.
Know then that some of us are gentlemen, such as the fury of ungoverned youth, thrust from the company of awful men. Myself was from Verona, banished for practicing to steal away a lady, and heir and niece allied unto the Duke.
And I from Mantua for a gentleman who, in my mood, I stabbed unto the heart.
Oh, and I, for such like petty crimes as these. Oh, but to the purpose, for we cite our faults that they may hold excused our lawless lives. Much
Are
want.
you content to be our general, to make a virtue of necessity and live as we do in this wilderness?
But if thou scorn our courtesies, thou diest.
Oh,
Thou shalt not
I
live.
have a question, outlaws. Is this the first time that you all have come up with this particular scheme to grab a important looking guy and make him your general?
No, we tried it last week. It did not work well.
Yes. I'm ashamed to say that I just threw down my dagger and fled. But I've been listening to a lot of pump up music, so I felt much more confident going into this one.
And that's what's important. We keep trying. Yeah.
I mean, we keep failing too, but I mean, we don't give up.
Well, what they say is if at first you don't succeed, then probably second you won't succeed. Outlaw number 2, if you should say, thou shalt not live to brag.
Yeah. Thou shalt not live to brag what we have offered.
I take your offer and will live with you, provided you do no outrages on silly women or poor passengers.
Now, we detest such vile, base practices. Come, go with us. We'll bring thee to our cruise.
Okay.
Awesome. Already have I been false.
Already have I been? Yeah, I'm here. I just felt really bad about doing this to Proteus.
I understand. It's a pretty dastardly thing you've got going on, my friend. What's up with that?
I like to think that the ends justify the means.
Well, there are people in the federal government who seem to believe that, and I don't think it's working out. So if you would just go ahead and start with already I've been false.
Already have I been false to Valentine, and now I must be as unjust to Thurio. Under the color of commending him, I have access my own love to prefer. But Sylvia is too fair, too true, too holy to be corrupted with my worthless gifts. Then, when I protest true loyalty to her, she twits me with my falsehood to my friend. When to her beauty I commend my vows, she bids me think how I have been forsworn in breaking faith with Julia, whom I loved. But here comes Thurio. Now must we to her window and give some evening music to her ear.
Oh, how now, Sir Proteus? Are you crept before us?
Aye, gentle Thurio, for you know that love will creep in service when it cannot go.
Aye, but I hope, sir, that you love not here.
Sir, but I do, or else I would be hence.
Who? Sylvia?
Aye, Sylvia, for your sake.
I think you for your own. Now, gentlemen, gentle people, let's tune and toot lustily a while.
Now, my young guest, methinks you're alley-collie. I pray you, why is it?
Mary, mine host, cause I cannot be married.
Come, we'll have you marry. I'll bring you where you shall hear music and see the gentleman that you asked for.
But I shall hear him speak.
Aye, that you shall.
That will be music.
Hark, hark.
Is he among these?
Aye, but peace. Let's hear him.
Who is Sylvia? What is she? That all our swains commend her. Holy, fair, and wise is she. The heavens such grace did lend her, that she might admired be. Is she kind as she is fair? For beauty lives with kindness, love doth to her eyes repair, to help him of his blindness, and being helped inhabits there. Then to Sylvia let us sing that Sylvia is excelling. She excels each mortal thing upon the dull earth dwelling. To her let us garlands bring.
How now? Are you sadder than you were before? How do you, man? The music likes you not.
You mistake. The musician likes me not.
Why, my pretty youth?
He plays false, father.
How? Out of tune in the strings?
Not so, but yet so false that he grieves my very heartstrings.
You have a quick ear.
I would I were deaf. It makes me have a slow heart.
I perceive you delight not in music.
Not a whit when it jars so.
Hark! What fine changes in the music, hmm?
Change is the spite. Ugh.
You would have them always play but one thing.
I would always have one play but one thing.
Mm.
But host, doth this Sir Proteus that we talk on often resort unto this gentlewoman?
I tell you what Lance's girl told me. He loved her out of all Nick.
Where is Lance?
Gone to seek her dog, which tomorrow by her master's command she must carry for a present to his lady.
Peace. Stand aside, the company parts.
Sir Thurio, fear not you. I will so plead that you shall say my cunning drift accepts.
Where meet we?
At St. Gregory's Well.
Farewell.
Madam, good evening to your ladyship.
I thank you for your music, gentlemen. Who is that spake?
One lady, if you knew his pure heart's truth, you would quickly learn to know him by his voice.
Sir Proteus, as I take it.
Sir Proteus, gentle lady, and your servant.
What's your will?
That I may compass yours.
You have your wish. My will is even this, that presently you hie you home to bed, thou subtle, perjured, false, disloyal man. Thinkst thou I am so shallow, so conceitless, to be seduced by thy flattery that has deceived so many with thy vows? Return and make thy love amends for me by this pale queen of night. I swear I am so far from granting thy request that I despise thee for thy wrongful suit.
I grant, sweet lady, that I did love a lady, but she is dead.
God, 'twere false, if I should speak it, for I am sure she is not buried.
Say that she be, yet Valentine, thy friend, survives, whom thyself art witness. I am betrothed, and art thou not ashamed to wrong him with thy importunacy?
I likewise hear that Valentine is dead.
And so suppose am I, for in his grave assure thyself, my love is buried.
Sweet lady, let me rake it from the earth.
Go to thy lady's grave.
Oh, I can tell him that for sure. Go to thy lady's grave and call hers thence, or in the least at hers sepulchre thine.
Or not that.
What? Matt is hanging in your chamber. To that I'll speak. To that I'll sigh and weep. For since the substance, what am I saying, prompter? I'm trying to be lovely.
I understand, for since the substance of your perfect self.
For since the substance of your perfect self is else devoted, I am but a shadow, and to your shadow will I make true love.
'Twere a substance you would sure deceive it, and make it but a shadow, as I am.
I'm very loath to be your idol, sir, but since your falsehood shall become you well to worship shadows and adore false shapes, send to me in the morning, and I'll send it. So good rest.
As wretches have o'ernight that wait for execution in the morn.
Host, will you go?
Riot ribs. By my halidom, I was fast asleep.
Pray you, where lies Sir Proteus?
Mary, at my house. Trust me, I think it's almost day.
Not so, but it hath been the longest night that e'er I watched, and the most heaviest.
This is the house that Madame Sylvia.
This is the house that Madame Sylvia entreated me to call and know her mind. There's some great matter she'd employ me in. Madam!
Who calls?
Your friend and loyal servant, one that attends your ladyship's command.
Good Sir Eglamour, 1,000 times good morrow.
As many worthy lady to yourself. I am thus early come to know what service it is your pleasure to command me in.
Oh, Eglamour, thou art a gentleman. Think not I flatter, for I swear I do not. Valiant, wise, remorseful, well accomplished. Thou art not ignorant what dear goodwill I hold the banished Valentine, nor how my father would enforce me marry vain Thurio, whom I very soul abhorred. Thyself hast loved, and I have heard thee say no grief did ever come so close, so near thy heart as when thy lady and thy true love died, upon whose grave thou vowedst pure chastity. Sir Eglamour, I would to Valentine, to Mantua, where I hear he makes abode, and for the ways are dangerous to pass, I do desire thy worthy company, if not to hide what I have said to thee, that I may venture to depart alone.
Madam, I pity much your grievances, which, since I know they virtuously are placed, I give consent to go along with you. When will you go?
This evening coming.
Where shall I meet you?
At Friar Patrick's cell.
I will not fail your ladyship. Good morrow, gentle lady.
Good morrow, kind Sir Eglamour.
Oh, one that I brought up from a puppy. One that I saved from drowning when 3 or 4 of his blind brothers and sisters went to it. I have taught him, even as one would say precisely would thus teach a dog. I was sent to deliver him as a present to Madame Sylvia from my master. I came no sooner in the dining chamber, but he steps to a trencher and steals her cape and leg. Oh, 'tis foul upon me that he did. Oh, if I had no more wit than he to take the fault, I think verily he'd been hanged for it. For sure as I live, he suffered for it. You shall judge. He thrusts me himself into the company of 3 or 4 gentleman-like dogs under the Duke's table. Oh, he had not been there, bless the mark, a pissing while, when the chamber all smelt him out. Out with the dog, says one. What cur is that? Says another. Rip him out, says the third. Hang him up, says the Duke. I, having been acquainted with the smell before, knew it was crab, and goes me to the fellow that whips the dogs. Friend, quoth I, mean you to whip the dog? Marry I do, quoth he. You do him the more wrong, quoth I. 'Twas I that did the thing you wot of. He makes me no more ado, but whips me out of the chamber. Well, how many masters would do this for his servant? Nay, I'll be sworn, I have sat in the stocks for pudding he hath stolen. Otherwise, he had been executed. I have stood in the pillory for geese he hath killed. Otherwise, he had suffered for it. Thou thinkst not of this now. Nay, I remember the trick you served me when I took my leave of Madame Sylvia. Did not I bid thee still mark me, and do as I do? When didst thou see me heave up my leg and make water against a gentlewoman's farthingale? Didst thou ever see me do such a trick?
Lance, gosh, it seems that you are willing to do quite a bit for this dog. What are some of the things that Crab the dog has done for you?
Oh, well, there have been times where maybe I didn't have a lot of friends or people that wanted to hang out with me. Never really been able to figure out why. But you know who's always wanted to hang out with me? Crab the dog. He's really a good buddy.
He sounds like a completely loyal friend. I hope the two of you are together for a long, long time. Now,
Me
can you
too.
just say that last line again? Didst thou ever see me?
Didst thou ever see me do such a trick?
Sebastian is thy name. I like thee well, and will employ thee in some service presently.
In what you please?
In what you please, I'll do what I can.
I hope thou wilt. How now, you whoreson peasant? Yeah, you. Where have you been these 2 days loitering?
Oh, Mary, sir, I carried Mistress Sylvia, the dog that you bade me.
And what says she to my little jewel?
Mary, she says your dog was a cur, and tells the church thanks is good enough for such a present.
But she received my dog.
No, indeed, she did not. Here, I brought him back again.
What? Didst thou offer her this from me?
Aye, sir. The other squirrel was stolen from me by the hangman's boys in the marketplace. And then I offered her my own, who is a dog as big as 10 of yours, and therefore the gift's the greater.
Go, get thee hence and find my dog again, or ne'er return again into my sight. Away, I say, stay'st thou to vex me here, a rogue that still an end turns me to shame. Sebastian, I have entertained thee, partly that I have needs of such a youth that can, with some discretion, do my business, for 'tis no trusting to yon foolish lout, but chiefly for thy face and thy behavior, which, if my augury deceive me not, witness good bringing up, fortune, and truth. Therefore, know thee, for this I entertain thee. But go presently and take this ring with thee. Deliver it to Madame Sylvia. She loved me well, delivered it to me.
It seems you love not her, not leave her token. She is dead, belike?
Not so, I think she lives.
Alas.
Why dost thou cry, alas?
I cannot choose but pity her.
Wherefore shouldst thou pity her?
Because methinks that she loved you as well as you do love your lady Sylvia. She dreams on him that has forgot her love. You dote on her that cares not for your love. 'Tis pity love could be so contrary, and thinking on it makes me cry, alas.
Well, heavenly picture, your message done, hie home unto my chamber, where thou shalt find me sad and solitary.
How many women would do such a message? Alas, poor Proteus, thou hast entertained a fox to be the shepherd of thy lambs. Alas, poor fool. Why do I pity him, that with his very heart despiseth me? Because he loves her, he despiseth me. Because I love him, I must pity him. This ring I gave him when he parted from me, to bind him, to remember my goodwill, and now am I, unhappy messenger, to plead for that which I would not obtain, to carry that which I would have refused, to praise his faith which I would have dispraised. I am my master's true, confirmed love, but cannot be true servant to my master unless I prove a false traitor to myself. Yet will I woe for him, but yet so coldly as Heaven it knows, I would not have him speed. Gentlewoman, good day. I pray you my mean to bring me where to speak with Madam Sylvia.
What would you with her, if that I be she?
If you be she, I do entreat your patience to hear me speak this message I am sent.
From whom?
From my master, Sir Proteus, madam.
Oh, he sends you for a picture.
Ah, madam.
Go give your master this. Tell him from me, one Julia, that his changing thoughts forget would better fit his chamber than this shadow.
Madam, please you to peruse this letter.
There, hold. I will not look upon your master's lines. I know they're stuffed with protestations and full of newfound oaths, which he will break as easily as I do tear his paper.
Madam, he sends your ladyship this ring.
The more shame for him that he sends it me, for I have heard him say 1,000 times his Julia gave it him at his departure. Though his false finger hath profaned the ring, mine shall not do his Julia such a wrong.
She thanks you.
What sayst thou?
I thank you, madam, that you tender her. Poor gentlewoman, my master wrongs her much.
Dost thou know her?
Almost as well as I do know myself. To think upon her woes, I do protest that I have wept 100 several times.
Belike she thinks Proteus hath forsook her.
I think she doth, and that's her cause of sorrow.
Is she not passing fair?
She hath been fairer, madam, than she is, when she did think my master loved her well. She, in my judgment, was as fair as you.
How tall was she?
Oh, about my stature. For the Pentecost, when all our pageants of delight were played, our youth got me to play the woman's part, and I was trimmed in Madam Julia's gown, which served me as fit by all men's judgments, as if the garment hath been made for me. Therefore I know she's about my height.
Alas, poor lady, desolate and left, I weep myself to think upon thy words.
Virtuous gentlewoman, mild and beautiful. I hope my master's suit will be but cold, since she respects my mistress' love so much. Alas, how love can trifle with itself. Here's her picture. Let me see it, I think. Oh, if I had such attire, this face of mine were full as lovely as this of hers. And yet, the painter flattered her a little, unless I flatter myself too much. What should it be that he respects in her, but I can make respective in myself? If this fond love were not a blinded god, come, shadow, come, and take this shadow up, for 'tis thy rifle. O thou senseless form, thou shalt be worshipped, kissed, loved, and adored. And were there sense in his idolatry, my substance should be the statue in thy stead. I'll use thee kindly, for my mistress' sake that used me sore, or else, by Jove, I vow, I should have scratched out your unseeing eyes to make my master out of love with me.
Sir Proteus, what says Sylvia to my suit?
Oh, sir, I find her milder than she was, and yet she takes exceptions at your person.
What? That my leg is too long?
No, that is just too little.
I'll wear a boot to make it somewhat rounder.
But love will not be spurred to what it loathes.
And how likes she my discourse?
Ill when you talk of war.
But well, when I discourse of love and peace.
Better indeed when you hold your peace.
What says she to my valor?
Oh, sir, she makes no doubt of that.
She needs not when she knows it cowardice.
What says she to my birth?
That you are well derived.
True, from a gentleman to a fool.
Considers she my possessions?
Oh, aye, and pities them.
Wherefore?
That such an ounce should owe him.
That they are out by lease.
There comes the Duke!
Oh no, Sir Proteus. How now, Thurio? Which of you saw Eglamour of late?
Oh, not I.
Nor I.
Saw you my daughter?
Neither.
Why then, she's fled unto that peasant Valentine, and Eglamour in her company. Therefore I pray you stand, not to discourse, but mount you presently and meet me upon the rising of the mountain foot that leads toward Mantua, whether they are fled. Dispatch, sweet gentlemen, and follow me!
Come, be patient.
Come, be patient. We must bring you to our captain. Oh no,
A thousand more mischances than this one have learned me how to brook this patiently.
Come, bring her away.
Where is the gentleman that was with her?
Being nimble-footed, he hath outrun us. Go thou with her to the west end of the wood. There is our captain. We'll follow him that's fled. The thicket is beset. He cannot escape.
Come, I must bring you to our captain's cave. Fear not, he bears an honorable mind and will not use a woman lawlessly.
Oh, Valentine, this I endure for thee.
How use doth breed habit in a man. This shadowy desert, unfrequented woods, I better brook than flourishing peopled towns. Here can I sit alone, unseen by any, and to the nightingale's complaining notes tune my distresses and record my woes. Oh, thou that dost inhabit in my breast, leave not the mansion so long tenantless, lest growing ruinous the building fail, and leave no memory of what it was. Prepare me with thy presence, Sylvia! Thou gentle nymph, cherish thy forlorn swain. What hallowing and what stir is this today? Withdraw thee, Valentine, who comes here?
Madam, this service I have done for you, though you respect not aught your servant doth, to hazard life and rescue you from him, to rescue you from him, rescue, they're the same thing. That would have forced your on his love. Vouchsafe me for my meed, but one fair look, a smaller boon than this I cannot beg, and less than this I am sure you cannot
How like
give.
a dream is this I see and hear. Love, lend me patience to forbear a while.
How miserable unhappy that I am.
Unhappy were you, madam, ere I came, but by my coming I have made you happy.
By thy approach thou makest me most unhappy.
He approacheth to your presence.
Had I been seized by a hungry lion, I would have been a breakfast to the beast rather than have false Proteus rescue me. Oh heaven, be judge now how I love Valentine, whose life is tender to me as my soul, and full as much for more there cannot be. I do detest false perjured Proteus, therefore be gone and solicit me no more.
What dangerous action, stood it next to death, would I not undergo for one calm look? Go, 'tis the curse in love, and still approved when women cannot love where they are beloved.
Now where Proteus cannot love where he is beloved, read over Julia's heart, thy first best love, for whose dear sake thou didst rend thy faith into 1,000 oaths, and all those oaths descended into perjury to love me. Thou hast no faith left now unless thou hast two, thou counterfeit, to thy true friend.
In love, who respects friend?
All men but Proteus.
Nay, if the gentle spirit of moving words can no way change you to a milder form, I'll woo you like a soldier at arm's end and love you against the nature of love. Force ye!
Oh, heaven!
I'll force thee, yield to my desire! Go! 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 Oh! Oh! Oh!
Thou friend of an ill fashion!
Valentine.
Thou common friend that's without faith or love. For such is a friend now, treacherous man, that has beguiled my hopes. Naught but mine eye could have persuaded me. Now I dare not say I could have one friend alive. Thou wouldst disprove me. Who should be trusted when one's right hand is injured to the bosom? Proteus, I am sorry I must never trust thee more, but count the world a stranger for thy sake. The private wound is deepest, O time most accursed amongst all foes. The friend should be the worst.
My shame and guilt confounds me. Forgive me, Valentine, if hearty sorrow be sufficient ransom for offense. I tender it here. I do as truly suffer as e'er I did commit.
Then I am paid, and once again I do receive the honest, who by repentance is not satisfied, is nor of heaven nor earth, for those are pleased by penitence, the Eternal's wraths appease.
Oh, good sir, my master charged me to deliver a ring to Madame Sylvia, which, out of my neglect, was never done.
Where is that ring, boy?
Here it is. This is it.
How? Let me see it. Why, this is the ring I gave to Julia.
Oh, cry you mercy, sir, I have mistook. This is the ring you sent to Sylvia.
But how camest thou by this ring? At my depart, I gave this unto Julia.
Julia herself did give it to me, and Julia herself hath brought it hither.
How? Julia?
Behold her, that gave aim to all thy oaths, and entertained them deeply in her heart. How oft hast thou with perjury cleft the root? O Proteus, let this habit make thee blush. Be thou ashamed that I have took upon me such an immodest raiment. If shame live in a disguise of love, it is the lesser blot modesty finds, women to change their shapes, than men their minds.
And mend their minds. 'Tis true. Oh, heaven. Were man but constant, he were perfect. That one error fills him with faults, makes him run through all the sins. Inconstancy falls off ere it begins. What is in Sylvia's face that I may spy more fresh in Julia's with a constant eye?
Come, a hand from either. Let me be blessed to make this happy close. 'Twere pity two such friends should be long foes.
Bear witness, heaven. I have my wish forever.
And I mine.
Prize! A prize! A prize!
Forbear, I say! It is my lord, the Duke. Your grace is welcome to a man disgraced, banished Valentine.
Sir Valentine.
Oh, yonder is Sylvia, and Sylvia is mine.
Urio!
Oh,
Give back, or else embrace thy death. Come not within the measure of my wrath. Do not name Sylvia thine. Once again, Verona shall not hold thee. Here she stands, take but possession of her with a touch. I dare thee but to breathe on my love.
Oh, Sir Valentine, I care not for her. I hold him but a fool that will endanger his body for a girl that loves him not. I claim her not, and therefore she is thine.
The more degenerate and base art thou to make such means for her as thou hast done, and leave her on such slight conditions. Now, by the honor of my ancestry, I do applaud thy spirit, and think thee worthy of an empress love. Now then, I here forget all former griefs, cancel all grudge, repeal thee home again. Plead a new state in thy unrivaled merit, to which I thus subscribe. Sir Valentine, thou art a gentleman and well derived. Take thou thy Sylvia, for thou hast deserved her.
I thank your grace. Your gift hath made me happy. I now beseech you, for your daughter's sake, to grant one boon that I shall ask of you.
I grant it for thine own, whate'er it be.
These banished men that I have kept with all are men endued with worthy qualities. Forgive them what they have committed here, and let them be recalled from their exile. They are reformed, civil, full of good, and fit for great employment, worthy lord. That one especially.
Now,
Yes.
prevailed. I pardon them, and thee dispose of them as thou. This one too, as thou knowest their deserts. Come, let us go. We will include all jars with triumphs, mirth, and rare solemnity.
And as we walk along, I dare be bold with our discourse to make your grace smile. What think you of this page, my lord?
I think the boy hath grace in him. He blushes.
I warrant you, lord, more grace than boy.
What mean you? What mean you by that saying?
Please you, I'll tell you as we pass along, that you will wonder what hath fortuned. Come, Proteus, 'tis your penance but to hear the story of your loves discovered. That done, our day of marriage shall be yours. One feast, one house, one mutual happiness.
Finis, the two gentlemen of Verona. And now my work here is done, and I shall send you all to my great good friend Ariel.
Big thank you to our prompter, Jennifer Lanier. Got us through this safe and sound, and everyone's happy and married in the end. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this lovely Sunday evening to enjoy Two Gentlemen of Verona. Again, we would like to share with you the opportunity of putting a few ducats in the buckets. Again, the link's down below, the side, or you can text OPS online at 443. Love you all. Keep safe. Wear those masks. Bye.